Back again in the hills of Gideal. Haven't done a video in a while. The Lawrence Brothers farm, the tomato farm. This is a priority, at least one of them. Um, so Andre Lawrence. So you're gonna walk us through how tomato is cultivated till it reach the bearing stage, and what the process is like, how many resources does it take, and so forth and so on. So Mr. Lawrence, on to you, sir.
Yeah. Well, it's a simple process, You go to the farm store, you get your seed. Depends on what you have. So these are hybrid tomato. You go to the farm store, you get your seed. Costs a bit of money, but that's agriculture. So it's a costly venture. But anyway, we're here. As you can see, these are young tomato. Just plant out 2 weeks now. 2 to 3 weeks now. So they are growing at a very rapid pace because the land is cool. This is not drip irrigated, but come natural in the hill, we get a quite good amount of rainfall to bring them to this stage. It's not like in Southfield where if you have that at this stage, it's a costly venture. You have to use grass and water from trucks or from hydrant. And some of them is not so fortunate to have hydrant, but they will use a truck and they will water it through their drip system. But this come in the hills of Giddy Hall where it's cool and they're growing very well, and they're reaching about 3 weeks now. I can see that they're doing very well. So, but one thing I want to say to the government of Jamaica, if any one of them see this video or anybody in Jamaica, stop the import. That means when these things is coming in, we don't have a glut on the market. We can start looking now towards Jamaica for after the disaster, because these plants in the last week of November, the last day of November, after the disaster, I have few people in Southfield coming in put in before that and after that, and they say they're gonna take the price down. But I say to the South farmer, look for a good price because it's a very costly venture, and don't keep on talking about you can take.
So isn't the price market driven though?
Yes, market driven in what way?
Market driven, that supply versus demand.
Yeah, supply versus demand, yes, but sometimes it is not about the supply and demand, but sometimes it's from import. People thinking Jamaica standard is not up to par, so they will take from overseas and then they will say we have a lower quality. And sometimes it's farmers creating this thing there that they have enough, and sometimes it's not even enough because
So,
so
does the local market have enough to supply hotel chains, restaurants, and everybody?
It's the local market which fairly dependent.
So why would the government would allow imports to affect the market?
Well, sometimes it's cronyism. Sometimes we go through that. Some people they are not direct farmers, but they like to bring in containers of farm product so that they can make the money without touching the farm directly.
So does the Agriculture Society of Jamaica, you guys work in tandem with them to express your growth and all these things?
No, we don't. Jamaica Society is a little off and backdoor and under tree talk. It's not publicly stated, but farmers always have growth whenever they have bad weather or drought or anything like that. They will have growth and certain things like that. But what we are pleading for is that we get some market when it comes, because we have people. There's a lot of time tomato is at a low price and it doesn't reach on every table of Jamaica. If we can't get it on every table, then we always sell it for a reason, because agriculture is very expensive.
So what would you consider a reasonable price? Because you also have consumers who are not who is not bothered by low prices. They really want low prices, especially at this time now when prices become exorbitant for farm products.
We can agree that prices are exorbitant and we don't want to work at exorbitant prices, but we also don't want to work on extremely low prices, because a plot of tomato like this can cost anywhere up to a 500,000 to carry it, and if you don't get it at rate at least $50 or $60 per pound to recover back your costs in the garden, you cannot recover back that cost. So sometimes people want to punish the farmer, or people go say, oh, last month you get it high, but it's a few farmers and there was none around. So farmers, it's just maybe a few farmers, a few trees that get a little. But when it comes in on a reasonable amount, you want reasonable and tangible price that you can sustain, because agriculture is a very hard to sustain venture.
Okay.
So
let's talk about this plot now. How long do average tomato take to come in from?
9 weeks from from plant until maturity, full production. It's 9 weeks.
9 weeks, like 2 months and a month.
1 week.
2 months and a week, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and how large is this plot of land now?
This plot of land is an acre point 5 or 2 acres by standard.
Okay, so how much root of tomato it take to cover this plot of land?
It will take about, it's a Lawrence, I think, 10 to 12,000.
10,000.
10,000. But we
Okay.
planted here about, we planted about 9,000 here, and then we lose some during a little mini drought there because we don't use drip, we just come natural and we lose a few. But you can see, but it is not only tomato, you know, but sweet pepper also. They can come over here and see that.
We do intercropping where we do tomato and sweet pepper. So as large as you see the tomato field, it is intercrop with sweet peppers and watermelon.
Okay.
So the first week of February we should be reaping tomato.
So this should be a pepper plant.
Yeah, this should be a pepper plant.
So we do intercropping here.
Yeah.
So what is the importance of intercropping? How?
Intercropping is that you provide a
And
variety.
then we have here we have watermelon.
Yeah.
Right here.
Here we have watermelon.
Where the tomato die out now, we put some watermelon now. They can
So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of intercropping?
advantage of the disadvantage first, sometimes it can be a little close and then they tie on each other and then it can cause burning. Then in the dry season now where you have a less rainfall and when it's hotter, it can be an advantage that it keep each other cool.
Canopy, so
Yeah, so you have more canopy that keep each other cool so you can get it. And then at what? Then you have a balance between prices. So if tomato is for $50, pepper is for 100,
yeah.
and then watermelon at 50, then you have a balance.
Yeah, not only prices, but you have a balance of variety. So
So you
let's
can
say you
sell.
can come in with sweet pepper and tomato, then you have a balance of products. So right away, you come on one plot, you can get 3 products.
Okay.
You can get both watermelon, sweet pepper, and tomato. So if somebody should come to the farm to buy, they will be able to get 3 products on one plot instead of have to go to other farms. So you will just do 3 products here, so you can get it available right away here.
All right. So let's say the government should yield to your plea and say, all right, we're gonna just accept tomato locally or local produce. So would the government would you be a reliable source to say, all right, you can produce X amount of tomato or X amount of melon on a consistent basis?
Well, we always have been doing it over the years, but what the government will do is that they will tend to give some level of nepotism to the importers at times because of some friendship and alignment with party and so on.
Yeah.
But however, if we should really consume from the Jamaican farmers, and even with the importation, it's not like it's cost effective. It's still expensive because when you look at it same way now, it is you're buying at when you import it, we are still paying a high cost for the import bill. We're still paying high at the market. It's not like it is better. First, it is an inferior quality. It doesn't have the amount of substance, doesn't get enough sunlight as our plants. So this is more nutritious to our body, better contents of vitamins and other essential mineral from our local produce. So it's not that it's better or anything, it's just that it was available and we went through a really serious weather. Like even if they have gone through that weather, they wouldn't have any time, but it's just nature that we went through such a severe weather.
Yes. Yeah, because we do need tomato is essential. We have Burger King, we have hotels and everybody we have tomato sauce and all these things.
Yeah,
so
we're not
so we
against importation if we don't have any at any given point. But however, as soon as we are
okay, so it should be done on a needs basis though. So the market should be regulated, and if there become
Most
a shortage
definitely. If
or there's
there's
become
a
a predicted shortage that they can import.
Yeah, they can import. But
Okay,
however,
understand.
we are not against importation. But when our products is available, we want the government to stop it instantly. No importation. So we would like for them at the first or about the 15th of January, I think where a farmer can get back on track where we can sustain both the hotel, both Burger King, KFC, and the local market and everything right through constantly from there. So we'll ask the government to plead to Minister Floyd Green and his team to stop all the importation of all vegetables at the 15th of January so that we can able to sustain our market, sustain our good quality product again, and that's so that the farmer can rebounce and recuperate some of the money that has they have been investing over the period.
Alright, Mr. Lawrence. Alright, coming to the end of the video. Hope this one was informative. And Mr. Government, if you're watching this, Mr. Floyd Green, you know, fellow Monronian and Chancellor, right? You know, yield to the pleas of your St. Elizabeth farmers. Alright?